Now, from Nebraska's trusted news source, this is Channel 8 News at 5.
Coming up tonight on the news, some Lincoln students are getting ready to vote for the first time.
Plus, how the war in Ukraine is impacting a Lincoln woman and her family.
I definitely feel like it's a nightmare and you're trying to wake up and you can't.
But first, severe weather is possible tonight in parts of the state. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us. A spring storm may fire up this evening.
Let's find out where and possibly when. Let's head on over to Chief Meteorologist John this hour for the very latest in your first forecast tonight. John?
Yeah, we are standing by to see if we see some thunderstorms developing later on this evening. It has been a windy day. You may notice temperatures bouncing around. I know it's windy because the tie I had planned on wearing fell off my jacket walking into the building, and so we're going tieless right now. But you can see we've got some sunshine out there trying to break out as we look off to the south and west from Honda of Lincoln, and that's allowing temperatures to warm. We've got a warm front that's now beginning to lift into the area. South of the warm front it is warm, and this warm front is the key to what we may see this evening. If it moves further to the north, we're likely to see a severe thunderstorm threat right along the front, and maybe just slightly north of there. The further north you go over the front, it's going to be more of a hail threat. Right along the front, we may have a tornado threat, and south of it, it's just going to be some stronger winds and some strong storms later on this evening as a line begins to develop and move off to the east. Now you can see the difference south of it. We're in the 80s in Hebron. It's only 68 degrees in Lincoln, and last night I had talked about how this warm front could wreak havoc on forecast for today. We'll still see our temperatures warming as that front should continue to lift off to the north and at least make it to I-80. You'll notice the winds are gusting 35 to 40 miles per hour out of the southeast and to the east for most of us. And this area here, the Storm Prediction Center says there is a 60% chance of issuing a severe thunderstorm watch. Tornado watches have just been issued off to the south and to the east, but not including any of Nebraska at this moment. So again, that's something we are watching this evening. Stormcast showing you thunderstorms developing as we go through the evening, especially for the eastern corner of the state. We'll have more timing on the hour-by-hour forecast in a few minutes. 70 degrees though by 6, 66 by 8, and 61 degrees by 10 o'clock tonight. We'll take you hour by hour, let you know who's got the best chance for seeing some thunderstorms, and then a big cool-off coming our way for tomorrow. That's to my Storm Alert Team forecast.
All right, thank you for keeping us updated, John. We continue to hear horrific stories of what is happening to the people of Ukraine.
Tonight, we're hearing from a Ukrainian and a proud Nebraskan about how the war is impacting her and her family. Channel 8's Ariana Martinez sat down with her to talk about her hopes, her fears, and how you can help. Ariana?
Yes, Alina Solodovnik spent most of her life in Ukraine. She was born just weeks before Ukraine gained its independence. She came to the United States when she was 21 and now owns a salon right here in Lincoln. Her mother and sister are also in the U.S., but her father, grandparents, and friends remain in Ukraine. Her father is a pastor and is working around the clock to help people in Ukraine around the country.
Well, my dad has a little, I would say, like a little semi-truck. So they put kilograms and kilograms and kilograms of food. So they bring this food to the local churches, and all around people, they go and they give them this food. So this is what my dad do with his church, with his community. They trying to take all the money, they buy products and food and everything, meals, and they send to this. And the driver, they pretty much risking their life to go there because they don't know what's going to happen.
Even though she is fearful, she is overflowing with pride.
I'm so proud of him. I'm so proud of not only him. A lot of people decided to run, and which is totally understandable. But a lot of people, they stay in Ukraine, and men fighting for the country, and women who stay, they do everything they can too. So I'm definitely very proud to be Ukrainian and too proud to know so much wonderful people who standing for Ukraine freedom.
Alina has been doing all she can to send her father money to help feed people after hearing a story that just broke her heart.
A local little pastor in a little village find a family with 10 kids and they don't eat for 10 days. So when they find this family, he get home and he grabbed every food, everything they had to bring to the family, and when he came back, kids was standing on their knees. And yeah, it was very, very heartbroken.
She shared that prayer means so much to her and the Ukrainian people.
Every day something new and horrible happening. And yeah, we're definitely very devastated and completely numb. And of course we have a hope that it's gonna, God will provide and we will able to be free country again, but for right now, we definitely keep praying every day for a peace in our country, and this is what we do every day, just hoping that one day it's going to be done.
Even though this is a very difficult time, Alina has such a strong, positive hope for the future.
We're going to rebuild this beautiful country, and all the people who right now in Poland and Germany will come back home. I want to see my family. I want to see my dad and my brother and my mom, and definitely this is what in my mind right now, to hug them again.
If you would like to help Alina send money to feed those in Ukraine, you can visit her salon in Lincoln called Solo Elite Studio. It's right off of 48th Street, or you can visit our website, klkntv.com, for more information.
All right, thank you, Ariana. And speaking of donating, help for Ukraine has been pouring in from all across the country,
including a Lincoln company that's offering up some Ukrainian-style meals for relief. Doorstep Diner Catering in Lincoln is featuring Takeout Tuesday, where they make family-style Ukrainian meals for people to pick up, and some of the proceeds go to Ukrainian relief efforts. They've been blown away by the response of the community, and the chef that came up with the idea says this is the perfect way for people in Nebraska to get a taste of Ukraine.
Just to give Lincoln the broad horizon of different foods from different places, to show them that you can have a great meal from over there here in Lincoln, and then we could provide that for you on our Tuesday Daily Day.
We'll have much more on how much they've raised and how the community has stepped up coming up tonight in our newscast at 6 o'clock. And now to the very latest on the details of the war in Ukraine. After several hours of negotiations between Russia and Ukraine, the peace talks have ended.
This as several European nations take action to expel Russian officials accused of spying. ABC's Eyewitness is in Washington with the latest.
After nearly 5 hours of peace talks between Russian and Ukrainian negotiators in Istanbul, Turkey, Russian officials say progress is being made. The Kremlin saying it will curtail military activity near Kyiv and Chernihiv to increase trust between both sides. The Biden administration says they see evidence Russian troops are leaving Kyiv, but believe it's more likely a redeployment of their forces than an actual withdrawal.
There is what Russia says, and there's what Russia does. We're focused on the latter. And what Russia is doing is the continued brutalization of Ukraine.
We'll see. I don't read anything into it until I see what their actions are. We'll see if they follow through on what they're suggesting.
The Ukrainian negotiators say they want to involve other countries in the next round of peace talks in 2 weeks to establish security guarantees protecting Ukraine from future attacks. Secretary Blinken expressing skepticism about the peace talks.
Russia, at least we've not seen signs of real seriousness, but if Ukraine concludes that there is, that's good.
A live webcam over the city of Mykolaiv caught the moment a Russian missile struck this government building, leaving a massive hole in its center. Ukraine claiming an important victory in Irpin, a suburb of Kyiv. President Zelensky says Ukrainian forces have retaken the city. As the war rages on, Belgium, Ireland, the Czech Republic, and other European countries expelling dozens of Russian intelligence officers from their countries. A top FBI official telling Congress there are also threats here at home. Russian hackers increasing their surveillance of critical U.S. infrastructure networks. The official saying Russia scanning America's critical infrastructure is akin to a thief casing a bank before a robbery, meaning cybercriminals are trying to gain critical knowledge before a potential attack. Ike Ajachi, ABC News, Washington.
And back here at home now, as primary elections are right around the corner, students are preparing to vote for the very first time.
LPS high schools partnered with the Election Commission and the League of Women Voters. The goal is to help students and staff register to vote. A few students were even deputized as registrars and can now help others register to vote for at least the next 3 years. They're hoping to be able to do small events at games or school gatherings to help more people in the community register to vote.
I notice a lot of people aren't as politically charged as maybe my parents' generation, so it's really good to see like my friends and my peers and other students here who want to vote and get involved.
Each LPS high school is holding a competition to see which school was able to register the most voters. The results will be posted on their social media pages after the registration drives are completed. In Papillion, a special groundbreaking took place this afternoon.
It was for the new Nebraska Vietnam Veterans Memorial. The memorial will honor the 396 Nebraska military personnel who were killed in action during the Vietnam War. It's going to feature an honor wall bearing their names, also a restored UH-1 Huey helicopter, and a historical journey through the events of the Vietnam War.
They came home after a year of service. Said, take your uniform off. You don't want to deal with the heat in San Francisco or the spitting on or the name calling in Sacramento. You don't want that. So they took off the uniforms, put their gear in a gearbox, and got on with life. That ends today, ladies and gentlemen. That ends today. Right over that hill is the Nebraska Vietnam Veterans Memorial, and it is for you.
The site will also have benches and green space for reflection and rest, and technological enhancements to sustain the experience and viability of the memorial. Coming up, the latest on Will Smith, including an apology and what his mother has to say about the Oscar slap.
Plus your full forecast after the break.
The crisis at our border, and Nebraska pays the price.
Now, your Storm Alert Team Forecast with Chief Meteorologist John Dissauer.
Quite a bit to talk about, quite a lot to talk about today. That's what I'm trying to say. As we take a live look right now from Beatrice, looking to the south and west, some clouds overhead. We talked yesterday about a warm front that was going to be lifting through the area, how it could cause some problems for both the forecast and from a storm standpoint. The front is lifting into the area, and as expected, things are changing around just a little bit. Take you to a live look right now from Southeast Community College. The winds are blowing, the camera's shaking. Look at the windmill blowing pretty hard out there, as we're still seeing gusts 30 to 35 and even 45 miles per hour. Most of this rain you're seeing on radar not reaching the ground. We are watching a cluster of thunderstorms, or really one thunderstorm that is off to the west, to the east of Broken Bow. It's right along the Sherman-Custer County line, and it is moving off to the east. You can see we've got some lightning with it. It's out to the west of Loop City, to the south and west of Arcadia. Arcadia, you're likely seeing some light rain moving in, but expect the rain to start to increase, and we may even have a little hail with this thunderstorm as it continues to move off to the north. No warning with it just yet, but it is a storm we are definitely monitoring. Here's the warm front I'm talking about. It is just now beginning to move into the state. Now, north of this surface low, that's where some of these thunderstorms are beginning to develop, and it's this area that we're going to have to watch as we go through the next several hours. Now, south of the warm front, it's oftentimes more humid. If we're looking for dew points, or the measure the moisture in the atmosphere at the surface, and they're still relatively low. That may limit some of the instability we have to deal with later on this evening with the potential for some thunderstorms. Also south of the warm front, it's easy to pick out where temperatures are much warmer due to that front. It's 82 degrees right now in Hebron. It's near 80 in Fairbury. It's only 74 degrees in Beatrice and 68 degrees in Lincoln. So it's right along the front, as we'll have a small chance for a tornado threat as we go through the next several hours. But here's the thing, we've got a lot of ingredients that are coming together for this, but it looks like the initiation maybe just be slightly off. So think about baking a cake but forgetting to put the eggs in with your ingredient list, and it just doesn't come out quite right. Now I wanted to show you this because these are a couple areas that the Storm Prediction Center are watching for the potential for issuing a severe weather watch. This is the new one right here, so just follow my finger where I'm circling, where they're suggesting a 60% probability of a severe thunderstorm watch being issued within the next couple of hours. And one of the reasons is because of this initial thunderstorm that was developing that we were showing you. This area, they're watching for the potential for some strong winds as well as some large hail over the next several hours. And again, that's north of the front. South of the front, they've got a severe thunderstorm watch that's now in effect until midnight. Does not include any of Nebraska, although it does include northeastern Kansas and northwestern Missouri. And again, that's in effect until midnight. Here is STORMCAST starting at 5:20. Now, it is suggesting we could have some thunderstorms already going in the eastern part of the state. That's not happening just yet, so that's key to remember. But I think that's the general area we'll see thunderstorms developing along the line in the next several hours, and these quickly moving off to the east. But we're still going to have to watch for some thunderstorms up in this area to develop, again, north of that front that could produce some large hail over the next several hours. I'm bracketing the hours between right about 6 o'clock and 10 o'clock for the best chance for any strong to severe thunderstorms we may have around here. Even though STORMCAST isn't producing a whole lot, we're still going to have to keep an eye out for that because that's, again, the ingredients are there for it. Winds are gusting 25, 30, and even 40 miles per hour out of the southeast because of the front. Now, as we go through the overnight hours, something else we'll be dealing with are some very strong winds, especially once the cold front passes and our winds shift around to the northwest. We could have winds gusting 45, 50 miles per hour overnight, and through the day tomorrow, we're likely to see winds gusting 30 to 40, maybe 45 miles per hour. And with cooler temperatures around, that's going to take our wind chills down into the teens. So overnight temperatures will be dropping off in the middle to upper 30s. High temperatures tomorrow will only be in the upper 30s to 40s, and there will be a chance for a few scattered showers around the area as we go through the day tomorrow, and maybe even a few snow showers tomorrow evening. 50 degrees on Thursday, April 1st, some evening showers. It's going to stay windy through Thursday as well. Drying out for the first half of the weekend, a chance for some evening scattered showers on Sunday. Temperatures into the upper 60s. Another chance for some evening showers coming on Tuesday, and then turning windy again Tuesday through Thursday. But the bottom line out of tonight's severe weather threat, it's not a for sure thing that we're going to see severe storms, but again, the ingredients are there, so we've got to watch out for it. And as we all know, anything could happen, especially when those ingredients are there, so that's why we have to keep an eye out for the storms.
Absolutely. I know you'll keep us updated. Thank you, John. Now we go to the fallout from the Oscars that shocked everyone. Actor Will Smith apologizing, though, on Instagram now for slapping comedian Chris Rock during the live show Sunday night.
It comes as the Academy calls an emergency meeting to talk about the incident. ABC's Morgan Norwood has more.
Will Smith is now apologizing to Chris Rock after he slapped the comedian on the face during the live broadcast of the Oscars on Sunday.
Oh, wow!
Wow! Smith posting to Instagram saying, quote, "My behavior at last night's Academy Awards was unacceptable and inexcusable. I would like to publicly apologize to you, Chris. I was out of line and I was wrong. And I'm embarrassed and my actions were not indicative of the man I want to be." The slap followed this joke that Rock made about Smith's wife, Jada Pinkett Smith, who has been vocal about her battle with alopecia, a condition that leads to hair loss.
Jada, I love you. G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it. All right?
It's not confirmed that Rock was aware of her alopecia, but after initially laughing at the joke, her husband took offense. Smith writing, "Jokes at my expense are part of the job, but a joke about Jada's medical condition was too much for me to bear, and I reacted emotionally." And Smith's mother telling our Philadelphia station WPVI in an exclusive interview, even she was surprised by her son's onstage actions.
He is a very even people person. That's the first time I've ever seen him go off.
The New York Times reports there were serious discussions about removing Will Smith from the theater in the 45 minutes between the slap and the award for Best Actor. The Academy saying it condemns the actions of Mr. Smith and is now undergoing a formal review to explore further action and consequences in accordance with our bylaws, standards of conduct, and California law.
The question is just going to be, what's the punishment? And I would guess it's going to be a relative slap on the wrist. I don't expect that they're going to take away his Oscar. We'll see. The Academy has to decide here, do we want to get serious about this?
Chris Rock has yet to publicly address the incident. The LAPD tells ABC News their involvement has definitely ended unless he decides to file a report. Morgan Norwood, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Big gains on Wall Street today. The Dow is up 339 points. NASDAQ also gaining around 265. Here are your numbers. You're watching Channel 8, Nebraska's Trust.
Tonight, President Biden defending his comments about
And finally tonight, you could call it a rough day after a morning of rainfall in Los Angeles. Rescuers had their hands full with some quick currents and a slippery canine. The fire department there used a helicopter crew to rescue a woman from the rain-swollen Los Angeles River, but her dog slipped away.
For almost 2 hours, firefighters tried to capture the canine. Then a Good Samaritan even tried to help, but he needed to be rescued too. Finally, after a series of dramatic attempts, the black and brown dog drifted into shallow water where it walked out. The LA Fire Department pulled the petrified pup to safety and says he is in good hands and being taken care of.
Well,
wow.
Good ending to that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's get a final check now before we go to world news and what we can expect for weather.
Yeah, we are still watching for the potential for some stronger thunderstorms to develop later on this evening. We are watching a few thunderstorms right now out across Custer County and western portions of Sherman County. And over the last hour, you may even notice there are a few lightning strikes popping up near Nance County as well. We'll go ahead and loop this for you over the last hour and show you how this is all moving off to the north right now. These thunderstorms are developing on a little line of some instability in the surface of the atmosphere at this point. So we'll continue to see some of these developing along this area. Now, the Storm Prediction Center is watching for thunderstorms developing north of the front. You can see the area shaded in red. That's where they're suggesting some large hail and some damaging winds will be possible over the next several hours if thunderstorms develop. That's where they could also issue a severe thunderstorm watch. In fact, they're suggesting a 60% probability of that happening. Otherwise, for the rest of this evening, we'll keep it windy and warm, 66 by 8. But again, we'll watch for the thunderstorms. Best chance between 6 o'clock and 10 o'clock this evening.
All right, updates coming throughout the evening from John, so stay with us.
Have a great night.
With the Channel 8 Eyewitness News mobile app, you'll be the first to know. Get alerts about breaking news and weather, all in the palm of your hand.
The spas are here. Truckloads of spas arriving weekly.
Hurry in today.
These spas are going fast. Spas are in stock and ready for immediate delivery. Supreme Spa.
Closed captioning on Channel 8 Eyewitness News is brought to you by Christensen Hearing Analytics.
Every home in Nebraska has a story to tell, and we're here to keep Nebraska homes healthy, to make sure they can keep telling stories and make new ones for years to come. Groundworks, foundation solutions crafted with pride.
Are you ready to make junk disappear?
I'm so looking forward to this.
We make junk disappear. All you have to do is point. Any first item removed, just $49.
Allo provides more. Just ask our customers. Richard from Lincoln said,
"The internet is twice as fast as competitors, and the whole package is saving me $60 per month. As a retired veteran, the extra money is fantastic."
Allo provides more. Switch today.
At Anderson Ford, we know most people don't like dealing with pushy salespeople, so we've made a change. As part of our Experience Better process, we're giving you a guide, one person dedicated to helping you from start to finish. It's Truck Month at Anderson Ford. Lease a 2022 Ford F-150 for only $419 per month, or get 0% for 60 months on any F-150 order, plus get $500 cash back. Order yours today. Experience better at Anderson Ford.
The Band's Visit rejoices in the way music makes us laugh, makes us cry, and brings us together. It's one of the most critically acclaimed musicals in history. The Band's Visit.
At the Lead Center, April 9th and 10th. Get tickets today at leadcenter.org.
As your Lieutenant Governor, it's been an honor to fight for the values we care about. Charles W. Herbster is the candidate I trust to stand strong for our conservative values. Charles is solidly pro-life. He's a man of faith and conviction. Charles loves this country, and he's willing to stand up and defend our values and defend our freedoms. Charles W. Herbster is the candidate I trust to take Nebraska to the next level.
Whirlpool baths are known to increase circulation, soothe sore muscles, and improve mobility. The Dream Spa fits into your existing bath area and comes standard with a waterfall spigot, heated seat and back, handheld shower wand, and a wide swing out door. Don't overpay for celebrity-endorsed spas. Join thousands of satisfied customers by calling Penner Bathing for upfront pricing. And Penner Bathing Spas are made locally in Aurora, Nebraska. Call now to get your own Dream Spa.
Growing up, my favorite class was Mr. Watson's shop class. He taught me about dedication to the craft. All things that I still bring with me to the job so that every customer has confidence in what we do. Groundworks, foundation solutions crafted with pride.
Come to the Gem and Mineral Show this weekend at the Lancaster Event Center.
Tonight, breaking news as we come on the air, what Russia is now saying about Ukraine in the capital of Kyiv. Here at home, the tornado threat as we come on the air, the dangerous storms hitting tonight and tomorrow, and then moving east. We're tracking it all right now. First, the war in Ukraine. President Biden responding late today to this news from Russia. This potential change in strategy, suggesting they will move away from Kyiv. What President Biden said today and what the Pentagon is now saying tonight, how they see this. This all comes amid reports of Russia shelling residential areas near the capital. And President Zelensky, moments ago, responding to Russia. James Longman standing by in Kyiv tonight. Here at home, two major headlines involving the pandemic. The Omicron subvariant is now the dominant strain here in the U.S., what they're seeing. And tonight, the FDA now authorizing a second COVID booster for Americans 50 and older. How soon can you get it? And if you're under 50, will there be a booster for you? The potential new fallout now after that stunning moment, Will Smith hitting Chris Rock. The Academy Board of Governors and the new meeting. What we're learning tonight. That threat of severe storms in the coming hours and tomorrow. Our team telling us a level 4 out of 5 potential for dangerous tornadoes, several states. And this will all move east. Ginger Z live in the storm zone tonight. Terror in Israel, the deadly shooting spree. At least 5 people and the gunman killed near Tel Aviv. Tonight, back here at home, the 7-hour, 37-minute gap in the White House phone logs on January 6th. What we've learned, John Karl is back tonight. The historic moment at the White House today. President Biden signing the landmark Emmett Till Anti-Lynching Act into law, making lynching a federal hate crime. The Queen paying tribute to her late husband, Prince Philip, today, escorted by Prince Andrew just weeks after his settlement. And then the other moment we saw in the subway in Ukraine. Everyone stood and listened, and it will move you too.
From ABC News World Headquarters in New York, this is World News Tonight with David Muir.
Good evening, and it's great to have you with us here on a very busy Tuesday night. That tornado threat as we come on the air, the new booster shot for COVID. But we are going to begin tonight with the war in Ukraine. And Russia now saying tonight that they will drastically reduce combat operations around the capital of Kyiv and in the northern city of Chernihiv, though adding it is not a ceasefire. President Biden responding tonight saying we'll see what their actions are and how the Pentagon now sees this tonight, what they said. Just moments ago, Ukraine's President Zelensky responding to the Russians as well. This all comes after talks between Russia and Ukraine in Istanbul today, the first in-person negotiations in 2 weeks. But even as they talked, Russian missiles continued to fall, one slicing through the air in Mykolaiv near the Black Sea, then smoke from an explosion. That missile punching a hole in this regional government building there. Emergency officials rescuing people from the rubble. They say at least 12 people were killed and dozens injured. And another stunning image of war near Kyiv tonight. This is what is left of a food warehouse, everything destroyed. The humanitarian crisis, of course, growing tonight. This evening here, what Russia is now claiming, the U.S. response, and what President Zelensky said just before we came on the air tonight. ABC's James Longman leading us off from Kyiv.
Tonight, Russia now signaling a major shift in strategy. Following direct face-to-face peace talks today in Turkey, the Kremlin is now saying for the first time that it will drastically reduce combat operations around the capital of Kyiv and Chernihiv in the north, but later adding that does not mean a ceasefire. Ukrainian soldiers won't be dropping their guard. The White House tonight saying they are seeing Russian troops move away from Kyiv, but stress they believe the movement is a redeployment, not a withdrawal. Tonight, President Biden speaking with European leaders, greeting Russia's promise skeptically.
We'll see. I don't read anything into it until I see what their actions are. We'll see if they follow through on what they're suggesting.
And tonight, the Pentagon is hardly convinced the Russians mean what they say.
We're not taking anything they say at face value. We're not prepared to buy the Russian argument that it's a withdrawal. Again, our assessment is that their intention is to reposition forces and bolster their efforts elsewhere.
Tonight, Russian troops are here, just 15 miles from the center of Kyiv to the north, west and east. Over 10 incidents of Russian shelling into residential areas were reported near the city today. If they do pull back, they may redeploy here to the eastern Donbass region, which today they said they want to liberate. That sets up the next phase of this bloody war and not something Ukraine would accept as part of any deal. Both sides also suggesting a meeting is possible between Vladimir Putin and Ukrainian President Zelensky, but only when an agreement is signed. Ukraine tonight calling for a new system of legally binding security guarantees. So, if the country is attacked in the future, there's a treaty in place, similar to NATO's Article 5, where guarantor countries, including the US, will be legally obligated to provide weapons and impose a no-fly zone. In exchange, and once Russian troops are gone, Ukraine would agree to become a non-nuclear, neutral state. The war still raging. Russia today striking the city of Mykolaiv in the south. New video, seen here in slow motion, shows the moment of impact when a missile slams into a government building. It killed at least 12 people. Dozens more were injured. And the humanitarian crisis worsening by the day. Nearly 4 million people have left Ukraine. Olga Zakrevsku evacuated Kyiv when missiles struck too close to home.
It keeps going on in my head. Why children are dying? They go on dying. Only one person wants this war.
Our Lindsay Davis met her in Poland, where she fled with her mother, mother-in-law and young son, who's trying to keep a brave face through it all. And tonight, Olga's hope for her country.
I want to see that peace above our heads. I want to see children stop dying. And I want to wake up from this nightmare.
Extremely moving interview. We cannot forget about this humanitarian crisis. And James Longman with us from Kyiv tonight. James, we know Russia's new claim that it's going to scale back attacks near the capital. President Biden, the Pentagon reacting, saying their actions will be far more important than their words when it comes to Russia, of course. And you reported in late this afternoon to us that you continue to hear explosions around the capital.
Yeah, David, for the last few hours, we've heard the repeated sound of artillery slamming into Kiev's suburbs. Remember, Russia has specifically not agreed to a ceasefire, so there's every chance they'll continue to bombard Ukraine, even if they move troops around the country. And tonight, President Zelensky, with yet more powerful words on Russian peace signals, he said they do not silence the explosion of Russian shells. David?
James Longman there in Kyiv tonight. Our thanks to you, James, and to Lindsay Davis for that interview over the border in Poland. Thank you. We're going to turn now to the news back here at home tonight, and there are significant new developments in the pandemic. The FDA now giving the green light for a second COVID booster now for Americans 50 and older. How quickly will you be able to get it, and will they recommend everyone else get it too? And this move comes as we learn that highly transmissible Omicron subvariant is now the dominant strain here in the U.S. Here's Eva Pilgrim.
Tonight, a green light for a second booster shot of Moderna and Pfizer for Americans over 50 and the immunocompromised. Health officials pointing to waning protection.
If it's been at least 4 months since you've been vaccinated with your first booster dose, you should seriously consider getting another booster dose.
The new boosters will be available to anyone over 50, but the CDC says they are especially important for people over 65 and people over 50 with underlying health conditions, which puts them at higher risk for severe outcomes from COVID.
If you're older, probably you walk a little faster to get the fourth shot.
These boosters can go into arms right away at pharmacies and doctors' offices.
If this is something that's going to keep me and my family and my friends from getting sick, then I'm willing to do it.
The FDA is also telling Americans to be prepared for another booster this fall. The hope is that this latest round of boosters will help protect against a new wave of COVID like we are now seeing overseas. The highly contagious subvariant BA2 is now dominant in the U.S., making up an estimated 55% of new infections.
It's starting to create a surge in many parts of the country. So it makes sense that many people may want to up their immunity as we potentially head into a surge.
Well, I'll be watching this closely. Eva back with us tonight. Two quick questions for you, Eva. First, today's move is for people 50 and older. How soon will we know if this is going to be for people under 50 as well? And I always ask about the people who got the J&J vaccine, that one-shot vaccine and then a booster. Should they be getting one of these new Pfizer or Moderna boosters too?
Well, David, people under 50 will learn more about the need for a booster when the FDA meets next Wednesday. As for those people who only got the J